Good morning, naturalists. Happy Monday. I am out on the nature trail today, and I thought I'd take you along for kind of a virtual nature walk. Now, I'm going to show you the things that I notice, the logs I choose to roll over, the rocks I peek under, and hopefully you'll go out on a nature walk today and notice some things that are new or some things that are the same, and make sure you take your nature notebook along to record what you notice. Now, let's get started with our good morning song. The morning doves are cooing all around me. Oh, it's perfect. All right. Good morning, dear earth. Good morning, dear sun. Good morning, dear resting stone, and the beasts on the run. Good morning, dear flowers, and the birds in the trees. Good morning to you, and good morning to me. Beautiful. Now, before we go out on our nature walk, at least at my program, we always put on some animal adaptations to make sure we can see, hear, smell everything around us, and be sneaky. So before you head out on your nature walk today, make sure you put on your owl eyes so you can see everything in the forest, and put on your big deer ears. Deer have big ears to help them hear everything going on, hear predators, hear things coming. So make sure those deer ears are on and big. Then if you want to sniff something, you want to make sure that you have a bare nose. Get some good sniffs going out there. And lastly, we always put on fox feet. Now, fox feet help us walk quietly through the woods. They help us make sure that we're not making too much noise so that we can see the animals in the forest. So I'm going to stand up and put my fox feet on. Then we're going to head out on the nature trail. All right, I'm just going to slip my fox feet on, test them out, throw my backpack on, and then we're on our way. Let's go. All right, naturalists, first stop on our nature walk. I rolled over a rotting log, and there's a salamander underneath. Oh, I'm so excited. Now, this is the red-backed salamander, and these are pretty common up here in New Hampshire, but it's always exciting to see them in the spring. Let's take a peek. All right, everybody, here's our friend, the red-backed salamander. Now, I'm not going to touch this salamander because I don't have wet hands. I don't have anything to protect the amphibian's kind of soft, spongy skin from soaking up any of the toxins on my hand. So I'm just going to peek under this leaf. Oh my gosh, I love red-backed salamanders. Bye, friend. Thanks for letting us see you. All right, naturalists. So we're kind of coming down a hill to more of a wetland area, a little vernal pool. So I've been noticing some changes in the plants growing along the nature trail. I'm seeing a lot more moss, a lot more ferns, plants like Rattlesnake Plantain that I just showed you. So I'm noticing that because it's getting a little more wet, that the things growing are starting to change. Do you notice changes like that when you take a nature walk? Maybe things are different in a wide open field than they are when you walk along a stream. These are important to notice because it helps us understand what plants and what animals live in different habitats. All right, naturalists, another stop along the nature trail. I found some rattlesnake plantain growing. Now, this plant is actually in the orchid family, but it gets its name plantain from the broad leaves that look like plantain leaves. And then you'll see the veins on this plant kind of remind you of a rattlesnake. So here is our rattlesnake plantain. You can see those broad leaves, those cool vein patterns. So this plant is actually growing all over this little stump here. Cool find. All right, naturalists, it's apparently Salamander or Newt Monday. I rolled over another log and there's a red eft underneath. Let's take a peek. All right, naturalists, so I rolled this log over and found this little red eft. Do you notice that its body has little orangish red dots with a little bit of black outline? You can see those little black dots on its body. So that is our red eft. Now, you might remember hearing about this little friend when we did the Easter newt video at the pond. So this is actually the terrestrial or on the ground, not underwater, version of the Easter newt. So I wanted to cover our red eft back up. I rolled the log back in place exactly how I found it, but the red eft is that juvenile or kind of middle stage of our Easter newt. So they start in the water, then they move to land as the red eft, which we just saw, and then they'll stay the red eft stage for, I think, 2 to 3 years. And then once they're an adult, they'll return to the water. So we saw a juvenile Easter newt. So cool. Let's see what else is on the trail. All right, so I've reached one of the landmarks on my nature walk trail. This is Striped Maple Grove. You can see a nice big striped maple growing right behind me, and there's a kind of a circle of striped maple growing all around here. And when I'm walking, this is a spot I look for because it's one of my landmarks to help me navigate through the woods. So when you're on your nature walk, try to pay attention to the landscape or a rock that looks like something unique and mark that down in your mental map so that you'll remember different landmarks on your nature trail. So I didn't look behind me before I showed you all the striped maple grove. This big striped maple that I pointed out has a big deer rub on it. Now, these rubs are left by usually a buck, so a boy deer, who will rub its head or its antlers on these trees. Now, in late fall, it's usually because the buck is trying to get the velvet off of its antlers. But this looks kind of fresh, so I wonder, it's maybe not too fresh, but it could be from just springtime communication between deer. So a buck might rub its head and antlers against a tree to say, hey, I've been here and I'm looking for a girl deer, or I'm trying to establish my territory. So cool. Keep your eyes out for these deer rubs. You never know what time of year you'll see one. All right, everybody, a nature mystery on the nature trail. Take a peek. Here's our nature mystery on a log. You can see someone came and munched on these acorns and they left some scat. Let's take a peek all over the log. More scat, more acorns. Who do you think left this mess? So another landmark that I'll often follow on my nature walks is a waterway. So I'm following the stream in my woods, and it just kind of helps me understand where water goes in my nature neighborhood. So see if you can find some water and follow it. Or make a stick boat, put it in the water, and see where it goes. It's so important to know about the water in our nature neighborhood. All right, everybody, so I'm out of the woods after our nature walk, and I found so many cool things. I think I had a total of 6 salamanders, a pretty cool acorn mystery, a deer bark rubbing, tons of awesome things to discover on a nature walk. So I hope you go out on a nature walk today. Remember to use those owl eyes, deer ears, bear nose, and fox feet to make sure you notice everything and share what you notice. I'd love to see. Now, since this week is Earth Day on Wednesday, I thought it would be fun to do an Earth Week challenge and go on the same nature walk every day this week to see what changes, what's new, what's different. What new things do you notice on Tuesday that you didn't notice on Monday? Give it a try and see what you can notice. All right, naturalists, I'll see you later. Have fun and stay curious. Bye.